Hello friends. So it's been a while since I've posted my next video on the series on personality development. As you all know who've been watching these videos, that I intend covering the 8 most significant traits in personality development as shown on this slide. I have already covered self-confidence, communication skills and interpersonal relations. The next one is a lesser talked about trait. Not many mentors highlight this. I feel this trait has a mark on your personality and it contributes immensely in the growth of one's personality. Let's see how. Now, the definition by the book, it's a process of defining specific objectives you aim to achieve within a given time frame, and it involves defining clear specific targets, outlining steps to accomplish them within set timelines. This last phrase is important. And of course, it includes direction, motivation, and a sense of purpose. Few of us may wonder, why is it necessary at all to set any kind of a goal? So, friends, goal setting, first of all, gives you much better control over your life. It gives you a sense of direction and some clarity as to what you want to achieve ahead. It gives you certain focus. You know, it flags your energy and time towards your core priorities. It also enables good decision making. How? You tend to be confused over many things, say while choosing your career as a young boy or a girl in high school. So if you have certain goals, that confusion is reduced and it helps you to decide faster and it builds better strategic thinking. It also promotes efficiency because you're not wasting effort elsewhere. Your purpose is defined, you're focused on something, so automatically you execute something what you planned for, and it gives you a lot of self-confidence. However small a goal may be, once you achieve it, even 75% or 80%, it gives you satisfaction, gives you confidence, and puts you in high spirit to move ahead. It also aids progression. Small success here and there might be attributed to chance or luck or it's accidental. But if you plan for it and you set a goal for it, then it becomes intentional and it becomes a progression. Someone very wise has said, create a vision of who you want to be. I used to tell my cadets in NDA, take out a clean sheet of paper, write down a description of yourself 10 years in the future. Who are you? What does your life look like? What are you doing right now? And imagine a future in which there are no failures. This is related to setting a goal. Now, there are certain key elements in goal setting. We have seen the bookish definition. Let me elaborate on those things. A clear vision. A goal has to have a clear vision. What do you want to actually achieve? Specific objectives. Be precise and don't have any vague aspirations. Then its execution should have a step-by-step plan. You can break it into smaller goals, manageable tasks, short term, till you reach the final objective. For example, you want to be a chartered accountant while you are still in class 11th or 10th. So make a goal that you have to score well in your board exams. You have to prepare, say, next 1 year or 2 years for a good finance related BCom or a BBA graduation degree. Then in next 2 years prepare for a chartered accountancy course or an exam. So these are the smaller objectives you set for yourself. Next element is the outcome should be measurable so that you are able to track your progress and success. It should be quantified and have a realistic approach. They could be challenging. The goals should be challenging, but you know your own capabilities. You know what can be achieved in a given time frame. So keep it realistic. And of course, time frame, like I had covered it in the definition. You have to set a deadline or timings by when these goals have to be finished or near about finished. Now, in my experience, I have certain reasons to believe why people don't set goals. They shy away from that. First reason and the most pronounced reason is fear of failure. What if I don't complete my goal or I don't make it? Best is not to have any goals. No goals, no failures. Are they not failures to begin with by not setting a goal? I think so. Second is if you are having no ambition in life, you have no desire to live a fulfilled life, then you don't need to set goals, you don't have anything. Low self-esteem or lack of self-confidence. You have a feeling that you're not good enough to succeed anywhere. And at times, there is a pessimistic attitude some people have, where they always fear the worst. They, they see the pitfalls rather than possibilities of success. I'm reminded of a story. A fisherman, would throw back into the river every big fish he caught, keeping only the smaller ones. And someone watching him, watching this unusual behavior, asked him as to why he was keep doing this. This fisherman replied, "Because my fry pan is not big enough." So most people never make it because they carry a small frying pan. Think big, aim big. Don't have a limited thinking. Now, certain guidelines, we saw elements of goal setting. There are certain guidelines. which are also important to be borne in mind. So your goals should be conceivable. These are related to those elements, but these are specific guidelines you can make a note. So you should be able to imagine, conceptualize, and understand the goal or the desired result. These should be believable. Try to see yourself with a goal in hand. Imagine that. You are preparing for, say, your athletics tournament, and you're a good sprinter in 100 meters or 4 into 100 meters relay. So believe that yes, you will win it. You will be on the victory podium on the first slot, first step, topmost step. Think of that image. Achievable. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself to go beyond old limits. Believe it that yes, you can reach the goal. We covered this earlier. Quantify this goal. It could be in terms of a percentage increase. You scored 75% in your class 9th, and in 10th you set a goal. No, I have to cross 80% this time. Cost wise, you are a businessman and you have made some profit. You say, no, this coming month my profits have to be more. Quantify that in terms of time or distance. It helps you to measure the progress if you quantify these things. Control. If you lose control over the outcome of an event, there is no point setting a goal also. So have a control over the execution, the steps you are taking towards the goal. You may have to change, you may have to slow down, or you may have to hasten. And of course, it should not be against what you are otherwise leading in life. You are in a very important education uh, stage, maybe in class 12th boards, or after 12th you're preparing for NEET entrance exam. At that stage you can't set a goal of winning the swimming championship, which is 3 months from now. It doesn't align with your other purpose in life, so it has to be well aligned. Postpone the swimming goal for the next year or the next time whenever you get a chance, after you prioritize your goals. Now there's some good mnemonic called SMART goals. The same, it's in continuation with the guidelines I mentioned. S stands for specific, M for measurable, A for attainable, R is its relevance, akin to what I said about being aligned, and time bound. So SMART goals. Giving some examples. Specific. Instead of just saying I want to lose weight, your goal should be I'll lose 10 kgs in 90 days. This is being specific. Measurement, of being measurable. Again, like I said earlier, this is to monitor your progress. Same example, 10 kgs in 90 days is a measurement. Achievable or attainable. It has to be within one's means, his capabilities, lest it becomes disheartening. Realistic. You can't say you lose 50 kgs in 30 days. That's being unrealistic. And time bound I've covered a number of times. You have to set deadlines when you set a goal for yourself. Now these goals mainly are of three types. They should actually be of varying timelines. You may have one long-term goal, but it's always better to break it down to a medium-term goals and short-term goals. Short-term goals, as given in the bottom portion, could be say some weeks, month, 2 months, up to say 3 months also. Then there are medium-term goals. They could be from 6 months to a year. And generally, long-term goals are more than a year. Examples are a number of examples. You have to be a doctor. You want to be a doctor. That could be your big picture, the long-term goal. Now divided into short-term goal. Prepare for NEET. That could be a short-term goal. Your NEET exam is about 6 months away, 5 months away. Medium-term goal. Give the exam and then apply and try for a good admission in a reputed college. And then, of course, do the medical degree course well to become a good doctor. So generally these are the three types of goals which are defined by time. There are certain other goals, professional goals, which are related to your career or skill development. For example, earning a promotion within 2 years. Financial goals, I'd covered the example of a businessman. It aims at wealth creation, where you say I'll save about 10 lakhs in 3 years. I need to buy a car. Then some people have academic goals, education and learning, that in next 2 years I must complete an advanced certification course. I have to find time and resources to do that. These are the other goals which are compartmentalized into different uh, spheres. But mainly they are those short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. So, friends, to summarize what we have seen so far, firstly, the need to set goals. We must all have certain goals in life, whatever age you may be. You may be a teenager, you may be a, a postgraduate, you may be a young budding entrepreneur, a middle-aged man, maybe at the fag end of your career, you still need to have goals. That will be the purpose in life. So you have to set goals in life. That is part of your personality. That's why I said it's an important facet of personality development. And we covered how it gives you direction, focus, and progression. It helps you to measure your progress. There are certain guidelines we covered in detail. These guidelines must be followed. Only then you will enjoy setting a goal, executing the steps, and achieving the goal. Smart technique, of course, is one uh, method to remember the guidelines when you set the goal, and types of goals we've covered towards the end. So I hope the narrative was clear, concise, and has been understood and enjoyed by everybody. And this was the fourth significant trait which we have just covered. And in my next video, I'll come on to another important aspect which leads to personality development. That is the art of public speaking. So see you friends. Good day. Jai Hind.